This is the fight of the night. Man, I love both of these. I love them. I've met Rob a couple of times. I can't even remember what year it was. I did a guest coaching spot on Tough Australia versus UK, and he was around there. We took some of the Queensland Reds boys down, and it was funny. So it was like obviously the UK versus Australia, but I was at the Reds, so brought all the Australian boys down and hung out with the UK team, and all the Australian Tough team were like, oh, what's going on? We're like, yeah, that's the way it is. We're taking over. Met him a couple of times there, seen him in and around Brisbane. Just the nicest dude in the world, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I just have the utmost respect for him as a martial artist.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Crazy, like stepping in there with Yol the way he did a couple of times. Utmost respect.
Yeah. Good dude. Had a really interesting conversation with him before the Darren Till fight, because he'd been out for a little while after the Adesanya fight and that whole, not sure whether he wants to do it anymore and not loving it anymore. And it, similar to what you were talking about with Jeremy Stevens, like leaving it in the gym.
Yeah.
And he felt that like he would train every day.
Yeah.
And he would just like every day was right. I'm like, today's like, we're going to push. And,
again.
Yeah.
Pushing again, are we?
Yeah. And I think, the thing is, because he was so well conditioned and young enough to do it, he was doing it. And I think it got to the stage where, especially against Yoel Romero, when he, the wear and tear that he picked up in those fights was then starting to play into his training camps. And that's got to be discouraging, especially when you're rehabbing and then you're rehabbing again.
Yeah. Then you've got Adesanya on the rise and everyone's celebrating him like the next best thing and you're the champ. And psychologically, that must have been that was a really weird period, wasn't it?
Really weird.
Yeah.
I did feel for him coming in for that one, because it was almost like Adesanya was defending his belt against Whittaker and not the other way around. I know he was the interim champ, but it's not the same thing, is it? It's like, it was like, yeah.
And that was tight. I mean, like, I know how that finished, but that's a good fight. That's a great fight.
He just, but what I think what backfired for him was the fact that he'd come off 2 fights with Romero, who's like, he does all the sprinting forward.
Opposite, innit?
Opposite kind of fight. It
Couldn't
was almost like
him any worse.
It was like he became Yoel Romero against Adesanya and was charging forward and being reckless. And it was, he acknowledges it wasn't a good performance from him. And, he took some time out. He got into video gaming quite heavily, from what I understand as well.
Really?
And just enjoyed himself, just enjoyed his life. He was talking about a sand dune run that he was doing. And that was the point where he was like, no, not anymore. No. I'm having a break.
I think he lives on the Gold Coast. I've seen him on the Gold Coast a couple of times. I'm not sure if that's where he lives or not, but I love him. I mean, mate, for the number 8th ranked fighter with 2 wins and 3 losses in the last 5 to get a shot at the number 1 contender is,
it's
I suppose,
fortunate.
Fortunate or a testament to KG. I'm not sure which, but we've spoke about it before on the podcast. Kelvin is just he's just the enigma, isn't he? You just know he's a good dude. He fights hard. He's tough. He's clearly skilled. He's got that X factor timing that seems to disrupt people's flow and rhythm. And
he kind of hangs back a little bit on his rear leg.
Yeah.
Kind of sits down, so it looks a bit casual, and then he's waiting with counter punches as you come in. I think we might see some grappling in this fight.
Yeah.
I think one of these guys is coming in with a grappling heavy game plan. That wouldn't surprise me if it's Whittaker,
Right, okay.
It wouldn't surprise me. I think Whittaker's going to feel like he can handle the stand-up of Gastelum, and there'll be opportunities, especially to land his kicks. He's going to be utilising his kicks quite a bit in this fight, but I also think he's going to feel like he's the bigger, better conditioned fighter, and he's going to try and use that against Gastelum.
Batter him with leg kicks, couldn't he?
Could. It's because he's so flat-footed, Gastelum is. Smash that lead leg up a little bit.
He doesn't even pretend he's not flat-footed, does he? He's just like, I am. What?
Yeah.
What? They're both tough as old boots as well. This could be one for the ages.
Yeah.
And Rob puts on big. They both put on big fights, don't they? They're both going to feature in a top 50 fights.
It's flying under the radar as well, isn't it? Given the fact that next weekend is such a big one.
And next weekend's crazy now.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
What have you thought to Whittaker since the Adesanya fight? Like against Till and Cannonier. I mean, the Cannonier performance was a far clearer one. Darren Till, he got hurt in the first round, but then kind of started to
rally, didn't
he ran away with it after that point. But see that for me was more down to him taking the initiative and turning it on Darren Till, and Darren Till not being a high volume fighter anyway. And Jared Cannonier, he just couldn't keep up with him. But I think Gastelum's got the ability to read that striking and that footwork of Whittaker. Like, because Gastelum's a good counter puncher, and Whittaker does sometimes, well, he travels forward with his face when he's throwing his hook.
Yeah,
and it's like I remember the the knockout against Brad Tavares. He threw a front kick, landed, and then looped, and it's like he doesn't turn his body. He keeps his head square and his shoulders quite square, and he turns the punch over and just catches people on the chin. And I think Gastelum might be looking at slipping off the centre line and countering him down the pipe, because that's where Gastelum's good. He's got that kind of lazy, like, slip and counter boxing style. So, you know, if he's patient and he hangs back, he'll get his lead leg eaten up though. So
yeah, I thought Rob is too sharp, but he sort of is too sharp. He's sort of too sharp in some ways, but then Kelvin is sharp in the counter striking, so he just might pick him a couple of times, and then that's all he needs really.
And they've both got short reaches. I mean, Gastelum, according to UFC stats, he's 5'9" with a 71-inch reach, and Whittaker's 6 foot with a 73-inch reach. I mean, they're both fairly short reaches.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Gastelum makes the most of his. I do feel like he's very good at utilising the full extent of his reach. I mean, we talked about Vittori on the opposite end of the spectrum. He kind of underthrows his left, whereas Gastelum almost overthrows it a little bit. That punch he caught Bisping with was a perfect setup. Really nice. And I wonder whether that like little sideways movements would be problematic for Whittaker if Whittaker's the one taking the initiative and attacking. Gastelum might. I'm excited for it. Which way
where do you go? Probably Rob.
Yeah.
Probably Rob.
Gastelum's got a higher takedown average than Whittaker, but Whittaker's takedown defense is 84%. And I think the UFC record is 95, so he's right up there. Average is about 60, I think.
He's bloody good. He's good, isn't he?
He is great.
He's very good. Yeah, I want to go probably Rob.
Oh yeah, Whittaker. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, very much looking forward to it.